I'm the old Norm. I want normal beer.
Warning, perimeter reached.
Ugh. It's your fault I got house arrest.
You're the one who threatened the school board.
I gently suggested
Yelled.
they stop brainwashing my daughter that girls aren't girls and men aren't men.
Sometimes they're neither, or both, or furry and dressed like dogs.
Ow! Janice. What's that?
Warning, offensive.
Actually, that is one of my pronouns. Also, they, them, and me.
You're non-binary?
How do you know that word?
I learned it in school.
That's why I'm locked up.
I mean, guys, this is horrible. It's blown my mind that recently I've been agreeing with people like Anna Kasparian and the Young Turks. Well, mostly just Anna Kasparian, not the Young Turks. But people like Anna Kasparian, even some things that Bill Maher is saying, obviously things that Joe Rogan and Russell Brand and these guys have been saying that aren't right wing. They're not conservatives. They're just calling out nonsense when they see it. And it's things like this that just makes me lose faith in the right wing completely. Although this is a cartoon made by Dave Rubin that we all know is a complete neocon, and I don't count him as right wing at all. I think he's just a grifter. I mean, let's not go too far into it, but the guy has a husband and a kid. Just let that sink in for a second there. Anyway, Anna Kasparian tears apart this new cartoon made by Dave Rubin and Larry Elder. It's just an embarrassment. I think Elon Musk is also involved in this. That's what it says on the screen here. I know Dave Rubin and Larry Elder for a fact are involved in this. It's just a disgrace. And I know a lot of you in the comments might disagree. And I don't even watch TV shows anymore because they're all just extremely woke. Like I can't stand, I used to be a huge Star Wars fan. You know, I used to make Star Wars videos on YouTube. Can't even watch that anymore. Can't even muster up enough emotion to get mad about how bad Star Wars is anymore. I don't even care. And when it comes to anything on Netflix, you know, Last Kingdom was a show that I absolutely loved. And they had like 7 seasons in a row that were just fire. And they ended off with a movie. And the whole movie is about just 2 kings that want to have sex with each other. You know, and it's like it just ruins the whole thing. I've kind of checked out of all TV and movies and stuff like that because of how woke it is. So I'm not someone who is like the anti-woke crowd. I want things to be not woke anymore, but it's cartoons like this that they don't help the cause. It's so bad. Let's get into what Anna Kasparian and the Young Turks have to say about this new anti-woke sitcom featuring Dave Rubin, Larry Elder, and Elon Musk. Let's watch this.
I just want normals. Beer.
You know there'll be jokes.
By the way, just real quick before Anna goes in, this is the type of thing that I'm talking about where these neocons, they're not in this thing to get to the truth. They're not in this thing to figure out who's really behind things and how we can actually turn the country around or anything like that. They're in this for money. And they're pandering to a certain audience that they also don't care about making things better. They just want to complain. They just want to be anti-woke and own the libs on Twitter. It's like for me and for a lot of people out there, like Candace Owens, who sacrifices her job in order to continue questioning the truth, like Tucker Carlson, who sacrificed his job in order to get to the bottom of the truth or try to. It's people like that I respect. People who are making cartoons about how masks are bad and jab bad. It's like, yeah, dude, we know that's old news. Let's actually go try to like make things better now or get to the bottom of things instead of trying to just make as much money off of the woke bad crowd as possible. Like I get it. And making money is not a bad thing, but it's just not something that I respect personally, like these types of cartoons. Let's check this out.
All right. X has rolled out their first ever animated series. And as you can tell, it's got a conservative viewpoint and fights against woke culture. So apparently it features Dave Rubin and a special appearance by Elon Musk, which you got a little taste of in that clip. And it's now being labeled as one of the worst things ever made. And I don't know how you're gonna feel about it. We're gonna show you examples.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
It's called The New Norm. It's an animated sitcom for our woke world. An edgy, doubt it, yet family-friendly comedy that shines a funny light on today's most divisive issues and gives Americans a safe space to come together and laugh. Which, by the way, I'm totally in favor of. You want to make fun of woke culture, but you genuinely have a funny show that does that, I'd laugh at that. I'd enjoy that. It's just that
hypothetically,
you got to make it funny.
Well, yeah, it's got to be like some meta humor, not the same stuff that we've been joking about and making fun of for the last 4 years. There's nothing meta in here. It's just like the same old jokes like, oh, look, this person has purple hair and is wearing a mask. How funny, guys. Isn't that so funny?
Well, to be fair, in their defense, and I'm going to defend them a few times, they said they were providing a safe space to come together and laugh. They didn't say they'd give you any reason to laugh.
Oh,
it's just you're in a place where you could hypothetically laugh, but you won't because you just saw what they're producing.
So it's the first animated sitcom exclusive to X, and it features the voice talents of conservative YouTuber JP Sears, unfamiliar with that person, and Dave Rubin. Okay, so we'll get into the reactions to the show in just a minute, and that's like my favorite part of the story. But first, let's give you some examples of what you can look forward to with this animated sitcom.
I'm the old Norm. I want normal beer.
Warning, perimeter reached.
Ugh. It's your fault I got house arrest.
You're the one who threatened the school board.
I gently suggested
Yelled.
They stop brainwashing my daughter that girls aren't girls and men aren't men.
Sometimes they're neither, or both, or furry and dressed like dogs.
Ow! Janice. What's that?
Warning, offensive.
Actually, that is one of my pronouns. Also they, them, and me.
You're non-binary?
How do you know that word?
I learned it in school.
That's why I'm locked up.
I mean, guys, this is horrible. I don't know if this is common practice, but like, why is there laugh tracks on a lot of like Family Guy and South Park and funny cartoons? Is there often laugh tracks on these? This is bad, dude. This is really bad. I haven't watched the full episode, and look, I'm never going to ever. But the clips that I've seen, not just this one, the other clips that I've seen on Twitter and everything, they look really, really bad.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that running for 20 seasons.
Where did the funny part come in? Did we miss it?
I don't know. I mean, Dave Rubin used to call himself a comedian. I guess that it's funny that he used to do that.
That's the funniest thing about Dave Rubin.
That's kind of funny, I guess. In hindsight, it wasn't funny at the moment. It was sad, but
it feels a little stale too, right? Like I feel
they're
like
just saying right-wing things.
Yeah, I mean, right-wing things that they've been saying for a few years now. Like you got to come up with something new.
Well, there's supposed to be a joke at some point.
At some point,
I think
there might be at some point.
I
we
guess
just haven't seen it yet.
Dave Rubin had purple hair. Is that a joke? Is that funny?
I guess.
Was it supposed to be funny that although some of the voice actors were clearly using professional equipment, he had recorded his lines on a Teddy Ruxpin or something? Like, why was his audio so much worse? And why Brett posted a comment to that tweet that was like promoting this, saying, why does it sound like Dave Rubin is just learning how to speak as he's doing his lines? Like he's pronouncing his lines super awkwardly. Like, does he not get, none of them get and none of them care because this isn't supposed to be art. It isn't supposed to be good.
It's supposed to own the libs.
They're getting free.
Exactly, it's not supposed to be a good piece of media. It's supposed to profit. That's it, just profit. That's all they care about. Profit off of the people who are trying to own the libs. I promise I don't even pre-watch these videos. I say this all the time. It sounds like I am just saying things that I know is going to be said later on in the video. It's never the case. I have someone who I trust send me these videos, and then I react to them, post them if they're good, good enough to post. What Anna just said is completely correct. What Anna Kasparian just said, it's supposed to own the libs, and that's it. It's not actually supposed to be good TV. It's not actually supposed to be funny. It's just profiting off of the people who are easy to profit off of, the own the libs type person. That's the only people that they know how to profit off of because they can't actually search for truth. They can't actually try to get to the bottom of things like actual journalists do and like actual people who are, who want to better the world do.
Money from millionaires and billionaires, and they all desperately want to produce something that's good. They're incapable of it because they have no talent, because they're not curious people. They have no empathy, and empathy is the foundation of art. So instead, they're just
examples where it's genuinely funny. Maybe I don't want to be unfair. So let's go to the next clip. This one actually does feature Larry Elder as a voice actor. So let's watch.
Chaz is part of a new government program
to re-educate homophobic, transphobic, racist.
Charlie, finally, someone normal.
I don't understand. You're black.
Did that just black whisper? I come here to get away from woke.
Trouble at home?
Oh, my boy, or whatever it calls themselves now, is thinking about transitioning.
Reggie?
Try Regina.
Transitioning to what?
Another fumble.
Hopefully not a Jets fan.
Hey, pronoun, this bud's for you.
Offensive.
I can't drink. I'm not 21.
Y'all influenced my boy to cut off his junk, but draw the line at beer?
No, I realize what it is about this. The way, like the cadence, the tone, the way they're delivering the lines, it's reminiscent of the corporate training videos that people are forced to watch. You know what
Yes, it's very much like they just wrote down the lines on a paper and just read them at any pace. Like there's no attempt at comedic timing. It's like they just read off the lines and they're just playing the lines back to back to back. It's like they're not even trying for comedic timing or dramatic pauses or anything. It's all just bad. It's bad television, and then you add in the fact that this is just trying to profit off of the people who are woke, anti-woke. Like they genuinely, like these neocons. And guys, you know I'm not some like the Young Turks fan, Anna Kasparian fan or anything. Whenever people are right, I like to give them credit for being right. And Anna Kasparian, I would say 85% of the time is not correct. On this one, she is correct. You know, they're neocons. Like there's no doubt about it. They're just trying to profit off of you. They're grifters. That's it. If you think this thing is good, if you think this cartoon is good, please let me know in the comments. I mean, I will be shocked. I won't be shocked actually if a lot of people think this is good, because they're obviously making it for a reason. And obviously Dave Rubin and these guys, they have fan bases somehow. I don't understand how people are dumb enough to see a guy who is claiming to be conservative or right wing or whatever the hell he claims to be. However, he tries to get around the fact that he has a husband and a child. Just once again, let that sink in for a second. I don't know how people are fans of him and who claim to be conservative or right wing or whatever. But hey, he has a big fan base. You know, I don't know how people are fans of Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire after all they've done to people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk and all these people. I don't know how, but they are, you know. So let me know in the comments, do you completely disagree with Anna Kasparian and myself that this cartoon is just an absolute disgrace? Or do you love it? Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this whole Anna Kasparian versus these neocon situation.